Welcome to Envision Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success presents The Momentum Shift. A show where we get inspired, we get moving, and we get results. Every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with your host, Eric Collier. He's the mayor of motivation and mental quicksand expert, bringing you inspiring interviews and empowering stories that will help to improve lives. If you're ready to start making the impossible possible, then you've joined the right show, because the momentum shift is what you've been looking for.
What it is we're going to do, start super small.
Okay.
Because when you can start small and get, like you said, those successive victories in a row, it's not the size of the victory that is the driving force.
Right.
It's the consistency of those victories. And that's where you have a momentum shift in your life.
Yeah.
And you can lock in that habit due to those victories over and over.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, that's the key for anybody out there. Start small. Go big or go home is nonsense.
Hey, Momentum Shift podcast and radio show listeners, this is your host, C. Eric Collier, and I've got something for you. I want to share this game-changing streaming service with you. Go to LrodTVNetwork.com. That's LrodTVNetwork.com. It's a minority-owned streaming channel that's got it all. Exclusive talk shows, podcasts, and live streams you won't find anywhere else. And the best part, it's affordable. Just $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year. But as a special thank you to my amazing listeners, use the code SHIFT at sign up to get 25% off until August the 1st, 2024. And now it's only $4.50 for your first month or $45 for your first year. And guess what else they're giving you? They're giving you a 7-day free trial to try it out. So don't miss out on this incredible offer. Head over to LrodTVNetwork.com. That's LrodTVNetwork.com and sign up now. Trust me, your entertainment routine will thank you. Are you still here? Hey, go to LrodTVNetwork.com and get signed up right now. Welcome to the Momentum Shift, a show where we get inspired, get moving, and get results. My name is Eric Collier. I'm a veteran of the United States Army and Navy. I'm a 2-time Amazon International best-selling co-author, and I'm an entrepreneur. And I love helping people, and I love coaching people. And I've done that successfully for over 20 years because I really want to see people win. And there is no greater feeling of joy than to witness someone who has just experienced that aha moment go on and change their lives and start doing what they thought was impossible and turning it into what is possible for them. So my goal, my mission each week is to simply do this: help improve lives. That's all I want to do. Help you improve your life, because you deserve to live in the greatness that is you. Now, every Friday, I want you to be ready. I want you to be ready for either an interview of these incredible people, a solo episode with myself, or maybe a remix of multiple interviews of these incredible, inspiring people. Begin. The goal is simply to help improve lives, and we're going to leave you with some nuggets for success. It's going to help you create that momentum shift that's going to really change your life. But don't stop there. I want you to go over to Apple Podcasts. I want you to subscribe, and I want you to leave feedback, because that feedback, I'm going to read it, and I'm going to help to improve the show in the future, because I really want to give you what you need to get that momentum shift in your life so that you can get going with making that impossible possible for you. So I'm really grateful to have you join me. I'm looking forward to having your feedback and helping to improve the show. And the one thing I'm really grateful about is I get to hear your stories of how you created that momentum shift that changed your life. So get ready, because the momentum shift is what you've been waiting for. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Momentum Shift, a podcast, radio, and TV show designed to help you break through the barriers to your success so that you can unlock your true potential and create momentum shifts that lead to you living in the life that you once believed to be impossible. Hello, I'm Eric Collier, also known as the Mayor of Motivation. My guest, Ty Nichols, aka the Habit Strategist, is here to help you with some tips and tools, some methods to restructure, transform your mind around the idea of tiny habits. So with that, I want to introduce my guest. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, I'm glad to be here, and I really appreciate it. One day, back in like 2013, she was like, "Hey, do you want to come and, speak to the students?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't really want to do that." She was like, "All right, Casey, no problem. I'll have Lance, another friend of ours who he does speaking." So a few weeks go by and I was like, "Hey, how did the event go?" And all that. She was like, "Oh, it was great. Lance came out, he talked to the children, and they had a good time." I said, "Oh, okay, cool." She was like, "Yeah, I paid him about $1,500. I said, "What? You didn't tell me about $1,500. What are you talking about? You said for the kids. You didn't say you paid. You didn't say that."
Right.
So then come to find out, people were getting paid
Yeah.
to speak. And I said, "What? That's what I need to do."
Yeah.
But
Get
I
paid to
didn't know,
speak. Yeah.
but I didn't know what I was gonna talk about. This is
Gotcha.
very early in my career, because I worked for Target for about 15 years,
Okay.
right? I was a high level executive. My last role was the Ellicott City store,
All
right?
right.
So it's a $62 million store. I had 275 team members, 12 team leaders, 6 executives. I was the campus recruiter from the University of Maryland, because I graduated from the University of Maryland. I was the district trainer for new executives, the regional trainer for front-end executives. I was working 98 hours a week, 90 plus hours a week,
Ooh.
oftentimes. And, I had to, get out of it. But Target taught me a lot about leadership. And I was like, "Oh, I want to talk about leadership." But it wasn't until I had this life-changing experience with habit formation and BJ Fogg and all of this stuff where I was like, "This is it." Michael Jackson say, "This is it."
This is it, right? Yeah,
I
that
said,
it just connected with you, right?
it changed my life. It changed how I view everything about what it is we do. Because I would talk to people, from a psychological level, their motivations and different things like that, and confidence, and, things like that. But when I broke it down to behavior, and I was actually, again, helping people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there's one thing, so there's helping someone realize their true potential, but then someone is struggling. And you help steer them in a direction, and they just can't stop thanking you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. And I don't do it for the thanks, I do it for the change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was looking at your website, and there was a gentleman on there, XTT CEO. I can't remember his name, and he was talking about how you transformed his ability to speak and just helped him change his life. And I think it's great to be able to make that impact, and have people come to you to do that. So I wanted to touch on your program. The one I was looking at was Tiny Mighty Habits for Inspired Health, Wellness, and Productivity. I don't know if that's the one he went through or if he went through a total different one, but I wanted to talk about that because I think when we look at goal setting and we look at moving forward in our life, and even just having a goal to go for, is important. So how does that play in that mindset?
So here's the thing. I'm not even a big fan of goals, to be honest.
All right.
I'm not a big fan of goals. I get it. It's good to have a North Star.
Got you. Okay.
North Star, that's the direction you want to go.
Yeah.
The problem with goals oftentimes is people are too hyper focused on it.
Okay.
Let's bring it down to another level. Let's think about the scale, right?
All right.
I want to lose 20 pounds, they say.
Right.
So they're hopping on the scale every other day, ignoring everything else.
Yeah.
And if the scale don't move, I'm failing.
Yeah.
Even though I ate right, I was on my exercise, I drank my water, I did all these things.
Right.
Because the scale didn't move, I failed.
Yeah.
Lacking the understanding that your body weight is going to fluctuate from day to day.
Right.
But the key thing is that they're focused on that goal.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we don't rise, and my man James Clear said this, we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems.
Okay.
And the most important system is habit formation.
All right.
When you develop the consistency, let's say, for example, drinking water, I'll just say.
Yeah.
If your goal is to get a gallon of water, drink a gallon of water a day, that's already, if you don't do anything else and you drink a gallon of water a day,
Right.
you will automatically lose weight.
Got you.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Because one, your body is gonna flush out excess water.
Right.
Two, you're gonna be more full and satiated, so you're not even gonna eat as much.
Yeah.
Three, your cells are gonna be more hydrated, you're gonna have more energy, which means you're gonna move even more. It's gonna help your blood sugar level. I mean, that's just drinking the water.
Got you. Yeah.
Right? So, focusing on the systems is the key.
Okay.
Right? And so those programs, that program's name, that's a talk that I give, I've given to associations, government agencies, where we talk about, again, first of all, how to build habits, what habits are, why, kind of what we went over.
Right.
But then also specifically in their department, in their, organization, what habits they need to implement.
Yeah.
Right? So we're talking about leadership, for example. What are the habits of a good leader? Right? So we'll start digging into that.
Yeah.
And we're talking about active listening.
Right.
We're talking about building a culture of respect and accountability.
Right.
We're talking about building a culture of open communication and what that really looks like. Right?
Yeah.
Building a culture around embracing change as opposed to resisting it.
Right.
You know, and how we do those things.
Yeah.
So and those, again, are behaviors that a leader can consistently do, right?
Yep.
That will lead to cultural change and transformative change within the organization.
Yeah.
So those are the type of things in that particular talk. Now, another thing when we talk about health and wellness, the things that I hit on in terms of health and wellness, I don't dig too much because I'm not a certified dietitian or anything like that.
Got you.
That's not what I mean.
Right.
I mean focusing on your mental health and awareness.
Got you.
I mean work-life balance.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Avoiding burnout.
Mm-hmm.
I mean setting boundaries.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean by health and wellness in that specific talk, because those things should be regarded at the same level of intensity and vigor as eating and exercise.
Yeah, I think I saw that in one of your blogs, put you on the calendar, right? Very important, right? Because most of the time people go through and they have these breakdowns and heart attacks because they haven't put the time in on themselves, and they're committed to, I think we were talking about it the other day at work. Somebody had mentioned how they were a contractor and they had gotten fired, and they were so committed and they put all this time in the job and everything else as though it was theirs, that they owned it, and they were hurt, laid off. And they're like, all the time I put in, you know, coming in on the weekends, and they were wearing their body down, giving it up for the job. What happens? They move you out and put somebody else in.
They will replace you as I was Mr. Target.
Got you.
Listen to me when I tell you.
He said, Mr. Target.
The target with me because I will stop the manager.
Okay. Yeah.
Right here. The shelf.
You still there, huh?
Signs, and I ain't worked for Target 5 years and still do. Hey, come here. I need you to send your front guy outside. The trash is overflowing.
You want it, huh? Don't let me call such and such.
Yeah. I go into the back room. All right. Y'all looking good back here. Yeah.
We used to laugh because we would go into Target, and we didn't work in Target. We never worked in Target. But for people would always come up to me, excuse me, you work here? Can you tell me where to find it? Yeah, it's over there.
So the
burnout is real.
it is very, very real. And you know, that's the thing with working so much and so hard. Focusing on this energy to make all this money.
Yeah.
That's the goal. We want to make all this
money. All the money, yeah.
And then we get older and we spend all this money trying to keep ourselves healthy.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing about the target piece is no matter how Mr. Target I was, if I died, they will replace me the next day.
Give him his vest. We'll put somebody else in one.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I even remember when I left. I mean, the district leader, where she was highly upset, but she caused the problem in the first place. I believe that people don't leave organization to leave poor leadership.
Yes, they do. Right? Yes, they will in a heartbeat.
That's what I was dealing with, so I walked away. I remember she was literally, I'm not joking, she was on her knees in the HR office, please.
Really? Because she knew she was gonna have to step her game up.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But sure enough, within about a week or two, they had somebody else in it. Because I lived right near the store, so I had a good time.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to see that.
Yeah. But it takes a while, like you said, the process. You got to be in the process. And I think I like what you said, is put it in the system. Because it's really what it comes down to, right? If I'm going to be successful at something, I'm going to be disciplined, I'm going to be consistent at doing something every day, the same way. I may tweak it here and there, but it's the same routine pretty much, right? On a daily basis. Yeah. And when you look at what you were doing in school while you were jacked up and everything else, it's because the system you put in place. Exactly. And when the system breaks, you break.
That's exactly what happened. He had the system. Yeah. He was boom. I was doing this. I mean, down to my workouts. Yeah. He had the whole system going. Right. I didn't know how to do all these things. Yeah. And then on top of that, the other guys were already jealous of me. So when I get in there, they didn't want to help me.
They don't want to talk to you.
They didn't want to see me fail.
Yeah. Exactly. I think and so that's the key too. As you get into the process and your system's in place and it's working, you have to pay close attention here, right? And on what's going on and take notes, because like you said, that person that's driving it, they happen to go away the next day. Now it's that self-leadership. Exactly. Right? How are you going to lead yourself? And if you can't lead yourself and the system's broken or you can't keep the system going, and then eventually you fall off, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You get that inconsistency, that wave. Yeah. And it becomes a problem, right? Yeah. What gets monitored gets managed, right? Yeah. So you got to constantly self-monitor, whether that's in a professional realm or in a personal realm. Yeah. And it's a lot of it too is about your environment. Yeah. When I say environment, I'm including your physical environment, but it's also who you surround yourself with. Yeah. This is another habit that a lot of young people miss out on. They're like, oh, these are my friends. Yeah. I check my kids every time. And your friend told me, yeah. Who? Right. Okay, Dylan is your friend. Yeah. Dylan got your back. Right. Dylan can come over the house. Right. I don't know who Johnny is. Exactly. Got all that shit. That is a classmate. Right. Yeah. We have a hard time understanding that everybody's our friend until you realize no, they're not. Until things get tight. Yeah. But also think about it like this, and I tell young people all the time. So listen. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. There we go. Yeah. Number two, let me tell you the levels of the game here. Let's say you surround yourself with 5 people that make $20,000 a month. Got you. Right? Yeah. It's a good room. Yeah, that's a nice room. Yeah. Until you get in a room with people who make $20,000 a day. There we go. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's a game changer. That's huge. Right? Yes. As opposed to people you just keeping around you just because you've known them since you was young. Right. Y'all live in the same thing. If they ain't, and here's the other thing too, people have to challenge you. Yeah. If your friends are not challenging you to be better, right. Forget about it. Find some new friends. It ain't that hard. No, it's not. It ain't that hard to find people that are gonna challenge you. Yeah, that was a big change. So 30 years old, getting out of the military, father, we've been married, 10 years we've been married. And it's like, I don't even know what I want to do. I thought I was doing the right thing, going to work every day, and you just wasn't happy. And so until somebody woke you up, say, hey man, you can change things. And so in doing that, like you said, you start changing the friends. But about those people pleasers, right? You're like, well, I'm gonna break away. No, I don't want to hurt the feelings. That's a challenge, right? That's a whole But here's the thing. That's another level of self-awareness. Yeah. Some people are people pleasers and they don't even know it. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why? It wasn't because I was just good
Uh-huh.
that I was the campus director, the this, to that. I didn't know how to say no.
Right.
I wanted to make everybody happy. That
Yeah.
means they're gonna do for me.
Right.
No, they're just gonna keep piling on your back until you
Exactly.
break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you live your life trying to please everybody else,
Yeah.
you're ultimately gonna burn yourself out.
Oh heck yeah.
And then you'll continue to blame yourself.
Yeah.
I wasn't good enough. And it just spirals.
Yeah.
It just spirals. Then you've got now you're really beating yourself up.
Yeah. And I think if you're married and you allow that to trickle in, ooh,
Oh, it can really
they can mess some stuff up.
I remember I remember when we were first married, right? This years ago. We were still newlyweds, and we went to a Valentine's party or something. I don't know. But it was a whole event, right? So we go to this event, what have you. You know, we're eating, I'm doing the electric slide. And then at one point, the DJ gets up and he says, okay, all the married people stand up. So everybody stand up. He said, all right, if you're married 5 years, keep standing. And people start sitting down. 10 years, keep standing. People start sitting down. 20 years. Then they got all the way down and there was a couple that was married 57 years.
Wow.
Older gentleman and his wife, 57 years. So being a newlywed, I was like, let me get the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Let me see what my man is talking about. So I went over to him and I said, hey, this distinguished gentleman, I said, so tell me, you know, what's the secret to 57 years? You've been married twice as long as I've been alive. Longer.
Right.
And he was like, listen, very simple. When we first got married, we made a decision. They said, when it comes to big decisions and choices, I would make the decision. When it came to little decisions and choices, she would make the decision. 57 years, we ain't had a big decision yet. Oh, this is literally what he said to me. And then he was like,
I like it.
We said, no, seriously, it came down to effective communication.
Yeah.
And really listening as opposed to waiting for your turn to talk.
Yeah.
And understanding that 50-50 is not real. Some days are gonna be 90-10, some days are gonna be 40-60, right?
Yeah.
And that's in all things. That's not just monetarily.
Right.
That's, you know, the kids and then the house and then, you know, it's not always gonna be 50. Matter of fact, it's rarely gonna be 50.
Right. Yeah.
So you really, you know, go into it with that understanding and being, you know, having that open communication. So I took that, right?
Yeah.
And we've been married for 19 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, that same understanding and listening and having that open communication applies to every relationship that you have,
Yeah.
whether it's work or personal.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it, man. I'm big on communicating, connecting with people, man. 'Cause I love people too, and I have to battle that. People, hey, can you? Nah, nah. I know I got some other things I have to do this on the schedule that's more important.
Yeah.
I can't push my stuff back for yours. It'll hold me back. So it's a definite saying no is a challenge for. And they'll do all kind. Oh, come on, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, yeah. You know I love you. Oh, come on. Yeah.
And some people, it's about they don't want us to just say no. I can't help you.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, well, let's teach you how to say no. Respect.
Right. Yeah.
I don't have time on my calendar to take care of that.
There we go.
Maybe at another time we can revisit it. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to just. I mean, I would just say no.
No.
Which is,
Yeah. Right.
Oh, but I ain't gonna be able to do it. I've developed my leadership to that level.
Yeah.
Because here's the crazy part. At Target, I'm working 90 hours a week. I'm like, it's Target. Gotta get out of here. I leave Target.
Yeah.
And then this was the camel or the straw. However you say it. I thought everything was normal. Just working 90 hours, working myself to death. I thought it was normal.
Okay.
And I was drinking the Kool-Aid all day long.
Yeah.
Then one day I came home, it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. My wife was smiling. I was like, okay, this is good. And as I got closer, I was like, why? Her eyes don't look the same as her mouth. Like, I don't think she's really smiling. So then she was like, oh, where you been? I was like, I'm red and khaki.
Yeah.
I've been at work. What you telling me? So you haven't been here since yesterday. I said, what do you mean?
Oh, wow.
I said, what? When I did the math, I worked for 28 hours straight.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't even really.
You didn't even know. You that
realize.
committed. Wow.
Yeah.
You were
It's
all
like you
in.
was talking about your man. That was
Yeah.
like, that's how my team members were going home.
And you just kept
sleeping,
rolling.
changing, back to work.
Wow.
And I was
You rolling.
So I was like, this is it. So I left and I started working for a company called Cintas.
Okay.
Cintas does uniforms.
Yeah.
So I was doing sales. I was supervising like the guys that were running the trucks and doing different things. I was doing it again.
It was in there. It was ingrained.
I was at 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
I remember being in my office. They're like, I go home. I'm like, I got work to do.
Yeah.
What y'all doing?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And that's when I realized it wasn't Target. It was me.
It was Ty. Huh? Yeah.
That was the.
Yeah.
And that's so many people out there right now that think that it's the job. It's not the job.
Yeah, it's you.
Right? It's you. And if it's not, because they're gonna try to push you.
Oh yeah. Oh heck yeah. They don't care.
The key thing
Yeah.
about you is being able to say no.
Right. Yeah.
Just like you said, learning how to say no is the key.
Yeah.
To not only not suffering from burnout, but even mental health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Right.
can still do a great job within your 40 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or however many it is.
Right.
Your scheduled time frame. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You don't have to do all this extra stuff.
So were you somebody who just looked at what you had, your to-do list, and you're like, oh, I'm only on number 8. I still got 15 more to go. I can't leave until this to-do list is over with.
Man,
Is that you?
The to-do list is longer than this table.
Yeah.
There's never it's never stops.
Right. Right.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? The to-do list just never stopped. Even when I would have days where I'm like, okay, everything's done. Now I'm looking for something else.
Oh, something to add to the
trying
list.
project
That
into
dopamine,
what I
huh?
might be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not how it happened. Because then I never felt the sense of completion.
Got you.
I never took a pause to say, okay, you did a good job.
Yeah.
It was always like, nah, you're not done.
What's next? What's next? Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah. Something that I like to talk about, man, is your change inspires others to change. And we talked about Mr. XTT, and I've forgotten his name, Vinny. Talked about him. We talked about how your habits and behaviors have changed your life. But I always like to talk about that mountain that we're climbing, right? We all have a mountain to climb when it comes to obstacles, hurdles, and where we want to eventually go to. Have you ever looked back and taken a look to see how your actions have inspired others?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? I didn't do that for a long time. It was always what's right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
But especially when you get to those times, I would get to those times where I'm questioning what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Is this the right path?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should just go do something else. And then I think about people like, matter of fact, I just had a conversation with Vinny.
Okay.
Not 48 hours ago.
All right.
Where I was thinking about doing something different. He was like, nah, man. He was pouring back into me the same way I poured into him.
Yeah.
And actually he's the one where he's doing this, this fast as well. So I look back at those to fill my own cup, as evidence that I'm going in the right direction.
Got you.
And that there's still many, many more people that could use my help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you just touched on something big right there, because a lot of times people think when you hear somebody who's changed their life that you make that decision to change your life and you never turn back, you never second guess yourself, you never have any doubts, or you never have that slump or just, you know what I mean, that mindset of go, is this the right thing? So I like that you touched on that, because it lets everybody know, look, this journey is a journey. And it's not over until you're in the grave, right?
Right.
I always say I'm under construction for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I say all the time, I'm just a
Yeah.
man under construction.
Yeah.
And then you gotta know where you've been
Mm-hmm.
to see where you're going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then another thing that I talk about a lot is, the comfort zone. A lot of people, the comfort zone is a nice place.
Yeah.
It's warm and fuzzy. Great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nothing grows there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta expand that comfort zone as much as possible. So that means doing things that make you uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
doing things that you're just not sure about. You don't know how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And I rub up against it a lot of times.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, well, until you do it, you're never gonna know.
Yeah.
So I try to incorporate that, and I do it with my children as well.
Okay.
I'm doing stuff like, oh, you ain't never done that? All right, let's go.
There we
I
go.
know what you've done and done, but I got it's on mine.
Yeah.
You ain't never done that, so okay. Trying different things, and I think when people expand their comfort zone, they ultimately start to build their confidence. So many people are lacking in confidence. Confidence is currency. Confidence I'll take confidence over talent.
Yeah.
You know
At
what I mean?
least you're gonna give it a shot, right? And the talent, I got talent. I don't have to put the effort in now. I got talent. Right.
Oftentimes,
Yeah.
there have been a lot of people. There have been a lot of talented people in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, super blue chip talent.
Right.
But they didn't have the work ethic.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me confidence and work ethic over talent all day.
Yeah.
You'll get people like your Steph Currys or this or that.
Yeah.
The people that will put in the work to learn. Because at the end of the day, talent is only going to take you so far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you don't have that due diligence to try new things and fall back and say, okay, this is how I failed. Okay, this is because that's the thing. Confidence is moving forward in the face of fear.
Yeah.
Talented people, oftentimes they don't. I'm not good at that. I'm good at this. I'll sit right here where I'm good.
There we go. Yeah.
I like making 3-pointers. That's all I'm
right. Right. I'm never gonna dribble.
I'm never gonna dribble. I'm not gonna do that. Right?
Yeah.
So the confident person says, I'll try that out.
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't work. What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
And if we can build that up in our young people, to have that confidence that even if it fails,
yeah,
you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you talked about Lee Haney, and I think the knock on Lee Haney when he was going was the way that he worked out. I think they always criticized him for his work ethic, the way he worked out. And so I think he was it wasn't ideal compared to what Arnold was doing and Lou and all those guys, his work. And it just goes to show you, man, you just put the work in and make it work. You make it work for you, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you look at again, I'm not even a basketball guy. Actually,
yeah.
But you look at the way that some of these, athletes did their thing. I'll give you another example. Kobe, he was a practice monster. This I know, right?
Yeah.
He's from Philly too.
Yeah.
But then you think about somebody like Allen Iverson.
Mm-hmm. Practice.
Remember that? Practice. Man, it's practice.
But
right?
But the dude was good, and I got it. He had talent, but wonder how far could he have gone
if he had put that work in?
Yeah,
right?
he was
put that work in.
Yeah,
how far could he have?
The kid he was killer.
But he was cooking.
Yeah,
he had his own, the thing is, he had his own. What he was talking about was the regimented practice from the organization.
Yeah.
Not his personal
practice. Right.
He's still doing his thing.
Yeah.
Right. He's still practicing.
Yeah.
But it's just not the organizational practice that he was talking about.
Where they sync up and all that. Yeah.
Now, if he had done both, he might not have got injured so much. They might have won a championship. I was hoping that year again.
Yeah.
Not about, like I said, I probably this whole year I've never watched a full basketball game this whole year.
Look, hey, I wouldn't, if it wasn't for my grandson, when he comes over, I wouldn't even watch it. I think I watched, and plus, being a Georgia fan, Ant-Man was playing, so I had to watch Anthony Edwards a little bit, see what he was doing. But yeah, man, I love what you talk about with the behavioral studies of systems and the tiny habits, because it is about the habits and behaviors and incorporating that you to keep you consistent and keep you disciplined and keep you moving forward and being in the process, even though you don't see the progress.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
You just hit it right there.
No.
That's the key. It's almost here's how habits. Here's the thing with tiny habits. Tiny habits is like planting a tree,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
You're gonna put the seed in the ground and you're gonna nurture it. It's very small progress, but over time,
Yeah.
that thing is gonna grow crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
gonna shoot up. So, but you
Like the weeds that used to be in my backyard. For a little while, you didn't see nothing. Next thing you look out there, poof.
I went to the side of my house yesterday. I was like, what is that joke?
Right.
On the side of my house.
Right. Yeah. I can't even see.
I can't even, where's my air conditioning unit? What's happening? I thought we cut it and we sprayed it.
Yeah. Come back strong.
Find a way. Yeah.
But yeah. Now what excuse me. What do you have coming up?
Well, this summer I'm really focused on the speaking piece. There have been a couple of clients I've taken on as coaching clients.
Okay.
That are, doing various things, right? Some people want to be better speakers, so I'm training them on public speaking and storytelling and really how to tell an effective story.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's the real way to have an audience connect with the material at the end of the day, right?
Right.
And sometimes in some situations they just want to be better storytellers. Period. Just being able to convey,
Yeah.
a proper story with an 8 circle or what have you. I've got some clients that are working in like real estate and they're trying to get paperwork together and they're just, they just need accountability and support and things like that. And there are some people that are on a 12-week program that I have that really drills down on, again, the tiny habits, but they have different goals. And it depends on your aspiration, where you want to go, that North Star. For some people, it's health. Some people, it's, mental health, right? And again, when I say mental health, I mean, having that balance in your life as well. But some people, it's, maybe it's more reading and studying and building. There are different levels. So I've got a handful of folks that I'm coaching and consulting, as well as taking on speaking engagements. So I have 2 speaking engagements next month. One is in Arizona at this Next Gen Institute. So that's going to be huge. And then there's another one in Utah where I'll be speaking on leadership as well.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that, but I'm looking to take on more speaking opportunities so that I can, have that impact.
Yeah. Now you could coaching workshops as well.
Yeah, so I have programs that are, so there's a keynote speech, right? In a keynote speech, you're delivering one main idea, one message. It's almost like maybe an extended TED Talk, maybe, but a keynote speech is more story-based, it's more emotional, it's more inspirational.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like driving home the point of why tiny habits are important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You are what you repeatedly do.
Right.
Therefore, excellence is not a one-time event, it's a habit, right?
Yes.
Whereas a workshop is more of a how-to, where I explain fog behavioral model, tiny habits. We get into building habits right on the spot.
Okay.
Right? Like I had, even at the conference just 2 days ago, I had people up on their feet, let's build a new habit. What habit do you want to build?
Right. You call them out right there on the spot.
Right there on the spot. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's, that's all about engagement as well.
Yeah.
Because they're after the conference, they're already talking about bringing me back next year.
Yeah.
Wow,
all right. There you go.
This is good.
That's impact, bringing value, right?
Yeah,
Providing value.
That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. Well, also was funny. I went to the dinner afterwards. There was like a seafood kind of buffet. And as I was walking through, they were like, "Oh, they were repeating my jokes to like their table."
Yeah.
People that didn't make it to that particular talk. But there was probably about 300 people. Only about 150 made it to that particular talk.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm taking on new engagements. I'm taking on new clients. I have an online course. I got my book as well. And Yeah, that's some of the stuff I got going on now.
Got you. Okay, cool. What is there anything you like to well, first of all, how can they connect with you?
Oh, yeah, so you can definitely get my website at thehabitstrategist.com. You can find me on virtually any social media. If you type in the Habit Strategist, something will pop up, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or what have you. They're easily findable.
Yeah.
Where I'm putting out content that's, when it comes to social media, I like to mix up the content, right?
Yeah.
Oftentimes, it's a lot of how to, but I could do funny stuff as well.
Gotcha.
Like I've got, I play pool, right? So
Right.
I got my pool. I just got back into the APA, which is American Pool Players Association.
Okay.
So I did like a little skit with me playing pool.
Uh-huh.
I do a little trick shots or ping pong or
Okay.
different things. I like to, my followers and audience like, different varieties of content that ultimately drive a message home as well.
Okay.
Because some people just do funny stuff for funny. I'm like, my funny also has a message that goes along with it. Right?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, if you type in the Habit Strategist on any social media platform, you'll be able to find it there.
Okay.
Or you can just go to habitstrategist.com. And then shoot me, you can connect with me that way, shoot me an email, things like that.
Okay, cool. Is there anything you like to leave the audience with?
So I mean, definitely, the key thing is if you can change your habits, you can change your life.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is, even if you don't want to use the tiny habits method per se, in which I didn't really get to the last portion of it actually. Let's finish that up. So we talked about the fog behavioral model. We know motivation and ability and prompts come together.
Yeah.
Behavior happens. We know that the first step to the tiny habits method is to shrink the behavior down.
Yes.
The second part of the tiny habits method is to tie that new behavior to an anchor behavior. Brushing your teeth, getting up in the morning, locking your door when you come in the house, what have you, an already established routine. But the key thing to lock in these new behaviors is the celebration.
Okay.
Celebration is absolutely crucial. I mean, it's without the celebration, you might as well forget about it.
Okay.
Right? So what do I mean by celebration? Think about when you see Tiger Woods, and he knocks that last hole in one, what is he doing?
Yeah.
He's got the fist.
Yeah.
About Michael Jordan, he's that winning shot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What you want is to have that feeling, right?
Yeah.
After doing that tiny behavior.
Okay.
All right. You're going to celebrate that tiny behavior. So here, what does that look like? So what I would do is after I brush my teeth, I would do my one push-up.
Okay.
And then I would look in the mirror and go.
Yeah.
So what happens with that is there's a little prideful emotion that comes up.
Right.
That locks in the new behavior.
Yeah.
Because repetition doesn't create habits.
Got you.
Emotion creates habits.
Okay.
Whether those habits are good or bad, whether it's drugs or alcohol, whether it's studying or swimming, as a habit, whatever it is, there's emotion that locked that habit into your life. There's an emotion that's coming out of it.
Yeah.
What we're doing is manufacturing a small emotion at the end of doing the new behavior so that you are motivated to keep doing that behavior.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. And I guess in putting up here and posing, you kind of see yourself where you want to be as well, right?
Exactly.
So you're locking that in there as well, right?
Some of my clients have some of the funniest, some of them just snap their fingers.
Uh-huh.
Some people go, yes. Some people do a little sing, some people clap.
Yeah.
I mean, there's literally hundreds of behavior, but whatever is going to stir that feeling up in you, and it's got to be really short.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be, it could be religious based, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You'll just have that short celebration.
Uh-huh.
And that's what's going to lock it in.
Got you.
Right?
Okay.
So that being said, regardless of what system you want to use, and again, Tiny Habits is a research-based system. It's not just some pulled out of the sky.
Right.
But regardless of what it is you want to do, start super small.
Okay.
Because when you can start small and get, like you said, those successive victories in a row. It's not the size of the victory that is the driving force.
Right.
It's the consistency of those victories. And that's where you have a momentum shift in your life.
Yeah.
And you can lock in that habit due to those victories over and over.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, that's the key for anybody out there. Start small. Go big or go home is nonsense.
Right. Because you get overwhelmed and you hear people say, I'm a little overwhelmed. That's because you're trying to take on all of this at once when all you do is start right here and you start for eating it away, right?
Yeah, and that just grows.
Yeah. Because I think we like to put together puzzles, and you don't just put the whole puzzle together. You focus on an area and you start building out, you know. Very, yeah, and I think that's how I view life that way as well. We're working on connecting the puzzle that we see here, right? That's the vision that we have, the drive that the things that we're trying to accomplish. But we have to understand we can't do it alone. So we got to be able to connect with us first when we're putting that piece together. But then we start being able to connect with other people, that self-awareness piece, because I understand a little bit more about me, how I operate, what I want to do, who I want to help, what I'd like to accomplish. And I can connect with you because I want to help. I want to help us grow and be able to do different things. So I think that's important too. Absolutely. You know, so.
Absolutely. So like I said, with that, consistently start small and then do something new every day.
Yeah.
Do something new. Get out of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
Do something new. It ain't gotta be bungee jumping.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So maybe if you go to that same restaurant, order something different. Try something new.
That's it.
I know. It could be even something less. It could be listening to a new song that you ain't never heard before. Just
Right.
on your iTunes or your YouTube. Listen to a song you never heard before.
Yeah.
You might, a lot of songs you're gonna be like, that's not good, but you're gonna find a lot more music that you never heard before that you might like.
Open yourself up, right?
Open yourself up. Once you start doing new things, you're gonna start challenging yourself, taking more risks, expanding your comfort zone, becoming more confident, and getting out there and conquering the world.
Yeah, I like that, man. A man told me, he said, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. And you have to have an open mind about things. And I like what you said. Try something new. Just try something new.
Right attitude.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Bad attitude is like a flat tire.
Yeah.
If you got one, you ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere. And ain't nobody gonna stop to help you. Yeah. Is there anything else, man? I love it, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. I love it, man. I wanna thank you for giving me the opportunity, man. Tell Mrs. I'm used to calling her Dr. Nichols. Tell her I said thank you for introducing us, man. I really enjoyed this, hearing your story, and hearing about the tiny habits and the importance of the role that it plays. Because a lot of times people do things start panning out, and you don't realize why it's panning out, and you really help bring that to a better understanding. So I like that, man. I hope the listeners in the audience, I want to encourage everybody who listened here today to go back, rewind this, listen to it, take some notes, and just try to implement some of the things he talked about. Implement some of the things he talked about. He says only just one little thing, one push-up a day can get you started, right? And I think that's a key, man. That's important. So, Ty, thank you, man. I appreciate you taking time out and joining me. You really are a momentum shifter. When I heard you say you lost over 200 pounds, I was like, dude, that's a mindset right there that's got to be heard. That's a mindset right there that's doing some things. And that's a mindset right there that is an example. When you talk about leadership, that's the mirror you're looking at, the picture you want to look at and go, hey, that's somebody that can provide value. So thank you for providing value.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for the Momentum Shift radio show, podcast, and TV show. I want to thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, always, always, always just keep pushing because nobody's going to do it for you. Take care. Hey, Momentum Shift podcast and radio show listeners, this is your host, C. Eric Collier, and I've got something for you. I want to share this game-changing streaming service with you. Go to elrodtvnetwork.com. That's LRodTVNetwork.com. It's a minority-owned streaming channel that's got it all. Exclusive talk shows, podcasts, and live streams you won't find anywhere else. And the best part, it's affordable. Just $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year. But as a special thank you to my amazing listeners, use the code SHIFT at sign up to get 25% off until August the 1st, 2024. And now it's only $4.50 for your first month or $45 for your first year. And guess what else they're giving you? They're giving you a 7-day free trial to try it out. So don't miss out on this incredible offer. Head over to LRodTVNetwork.com. That's LRodTVNetwork.com and sign up now. Trust me, your entertainment routine will thank you. Are you still here? Hey, go to LRodTVNetwork.com and get signed up right now. Welcome to the Momentum Shift, a show where we get inspired, get moving, and get results. My name is Eric Collier. I'm a veteran of the United States Army and Navy. I'm a 2-time Amazon International best-selling co-author, and I'm an entrepreneur. And I love helping people, and I love coaching people. And I've done that successfully for over 20 years because I really want to see people win. And there is no greater feeling of joy than to witness someone who has just experienced that aha moment go on and change their lives and start doing what they thought was impossible and turning it into what is possible for them. So get ready, because the Momentum Shift is what you've been waiting for.
Thank you for joining The Momentum Shift, a show bringing you interviews and stories of incredible people to help you get inspired, get moving, and get results to ultimately create the life-changing momentum shift that will improve your life. Join host Eric Collier, the mayor of motivation and mental quicksand expert, every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern for The Momentum Shift, the show and change you've been looking for.